Hello, Cowboys Nation, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Dallas Cowboys Nation. If you didn't make subscribe, please make subscribe on the Dallas Cowboys Nation in order to get a Dallas Cowboys updates, trade rumors, latest news, preseason games. Today we are going to start with the biggest transfer rumors, signing news, and also we move into the trade rumors, preseason performances, and players who are suffering from the injury. The Dallas Cowboys, as we know, have signed veteran pass rusher Von Miller in the last 2 weeks during the preseason, so the move has immediately created an excitement because Amila brings something Dallas desperately wants: experience and pass rushing ability. According to the Cowboys transaction record, Dallas signed Amila on 18th and waived wide receiver Tlashawn Holden make room off on the roster. So the Cowboys are also talking about the massive contract extension of Quinnen Williams. So in a few days, Quinnen Williams get ready to sign a new contract with Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys also made one of their biggest long-term decisions of the offseason when they reached the 3 years extension, which will worth about 105 millions to the defensive tackle Quinnen Williams. That contract is a major statement from the Jerry Jones and the Cowboys organization. So Dallas traded for a Williams because they believed he could become the foundation of the defense. So now they have made commitment for long-term extension of Quinnen Williams' contract. So the deal gives Williams a huge financial commitment and keeps one of the most important defensive players in the Dallas for the future. This could become one of the most important moves of the entire Cowboys offseason. So, and if Williams plays for the level Dallas expect, he could completely change the Cowboys defensive line. So even if there is players who are targeting or making his contract extension with the Dallas Cowboys, also the Dallas Cowboys are still watching the trade market, especially for the offensive players, and also some defensive players Dallas Cowboys are looking about. The Cowboys are approaching the most important period of the preseason because the teams around the NFL are beginning to make the final roster decision. The league's roster deadline is approaching, and that means some players around the NFL could become available throughout the trades. Dallas does not necessarily need to make another blockbuster trade, but the front office should continue watching the market. The biggest areas to watch are the offensive line depth, defensive depth, and wide receiver competition, and the potential the running back room. So the Cowboys made significant moves during the offseason, but the roster problem can appear very quickly when the injury it happens. And with the final roster decision approaching, the Dallas could potentially make another moves if the right opportunity appears before the season it comes. So, one of the biggest story of the entire preseason in the Dallas Cowboys is Brown and the Joe Milton, where the Joe Milton has been extremely impressive in the preseason games against the Arizona Cardinals and about the Seattle Seahawks. So Uh, Against the Arizona Cardinals, he completed about the 69% of his passes for 179 yards and 2 touchdowns. While also scoring lashing touchdowns, he finished with the remarkable 151 pass rating and did not throw an interception. These performances has changed the conversation about Cowboys' backup quarterback position. So Sam Howell was expected to be a major part of the competing, but Milton has taken big steps forward. He looks more confident. He is making a better decision making. He is using his mobility. And most importantly, he is protecting the football. There are now strong arguments that the Milton has moved into the QB position, quarterback position behind a Dak Prescott. That could become one of the biggest roster decisions for the Dallas before the week one. And the Dak Prescott has not needed to play in this preseason while the Milton has been getting attention. Dak Prescott has not needed to take significant preseason snaps. So the Cowboys are being carefree with their franchise quarterback, and that makes a sense. The preseason is much more important for the player fighting for the roster spots than for established star. The Cowboys want Prescott health when the game actually count. Once a Dak returned to the field with the CD Lamb and the main offensive weapons, the Cowboys' offense should look completely different from what we have seen during the preseason. Jadon Brew is making a big statement after two preseason matches. The running back competition is another major storyline. Jadon Brew has been one of the most impressive young players in the camp, and the preseason against the Arizona Blue lead Dallas with 75 lashing yards on 17 carries. He showed speed, explosiveness, and the ability to create something when the offensive line does not give him a huge running lane. But the Blue is not alone. Malik Davis is competing hard. Phil Maffer has also made an impression. That means the Dallas has a significant decision to make when it comes to the final running back group. Jonathan Mingo also had a big performances against the Arizona Cardinals, catching 2 passes for 62 yards, including 53 yards touchdowns. That was exactly the time of explosive play Dallas wanted to see from him. The Cowboys need players who can create a big plays behind the CD Lamb. So if Domingo continues developing, he could become an important part of the offense. The competition at the wide receiver is becoming very interesting because players such as Mingo and Camden Brown are fighting for opportunity. A rookie linebacker Joshua Barham also made a strong impression. After dealing with a minor injury, Barham's returned to action and showed why the Dallas Cowboys were exciting about his potential. His speed, physical style give a Dallas another young defensive weapons. So the Cowboys are trying to create a faster and a more aggressive defense, and Barhams could become an important part of that future Dallas Cowboys. So the Dallas has now won the first 2 preseason games since 2007. So the Cowboys defeated Seattle Seahawks in the preseason opener, and they then dominate Arizona Cardinals 34 to 13. So the victory over Arizona was particularly impressive because